Welcome to the Psychic Activist podcast. I'm your host, Natty. I am a psychic channel, multidimensional healer, author, singer, all the damn things. And today we are talking about duality and separation. Now, the reason that I chose this for today's podcast, I'm recording this in October 2024. And those of you listening to it at this time or listening to it in the future will recall that it is spicy as fuck out there. Energetically, it's a whole damn mess, complete fucking chaos, but also mixed in with the most magic that I've ever experienced. And I'm sure this is happening on a collective level. It doesn't matter when you find this podcast, because although these are some of the themes that are coming to a head this month, it's not going to be a one and done situation. These are ongoing collective themes that will be relevant for the coming years also. So just know that you will basically find this podcast whenever it needs you. I have my bullet points here, so I will try and stay on task because I have a few things to get through. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the duality of the dark and the light playing out on Earth at the moment. Now, there is some absolutely fucking horrendous things playing out in the human collective. We've got genocides, we've got hurricanes, we've got all sorts of war games, we've got companies rearing their ugly heads, governments coming to exposure, we've got disclosure around all the paedophilia bollocks in Hollywood, you know, all the shit. Now, this is stuff that's gone on for years. This is very much not new. It's just that it is coming up to be in the public awareness. It's all rising to the surface, which is a good thing because it means that we can clear it. So just like on the human body, we have all of our entities and attachments and density rise to the surface so that we can clear it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, please refer to my episode on entities and attachments. The darkness all comes to the top so that we can see it, witness it, so that we can clear it. This is what is happening on Mother Earth at the moment. But also the dark is amping up like a motherfuck as a response to all the amazing light that is happening in the world. So those of us on the ascension path, going through spiritual awakening, psychic awakening, especially those of you who are psychically tapped in, will be seeing all of the beautiful help that we're getting, the ley lines being upgraded, the astral crystals in the earth being upgraded, the dragon's awakening, many stellar races and star beings coming through stargates to help us. We've got lights in the sky. Like, this is becoming undeniable. We've got all sorts of beings helping us. We've got all sorts of sacred sites being reactivated. I've been doing a lot of this work myself, as I'm sure many of you will have been helping to reactivate sacred sites and clear the grids and reactivate and clear ley lines. All of this amazing stuff is happening. And as a response to this, the dark is rising. And then as a response to that, the light is like, fuck no, we're not having this, and rising back. So what we have, as usual, is this big vibrational war playing out. But it's playing out very tangibly at the moment in the collective and very visibly. As usual, because of the human trait to grab onto things that are sensationalist, things that are negative, things that are dangerous. This is part of how our brain is wired, right? Our caveman brain is wired to seek out danger, to seek out things that put us in flight or fright. Because back in the day, if there is a saber-toothed tiger, we needed to see it pretty quick. So our brain is naturally, unfortunately, drawn to negative things, which is why the media loves to perpetuate this. Also because they want to keep us in a never-ending cycle of fear so that we're nice and easy to control. But yeah, so at the moment, I feel like there's a lot of people that have a skewed view of how much dark is going on. A lot of people that perhaps don't understand that all of this stuff has been going on for years. It's nothing new, but because it's new in their awareness, it's putting them in fear because they feel like, oh my fucking God, what's happening? Why is the world suddenly going to shit? Why is there suddenly all this evil? Mate, this evil's been about for hundreds of years. All these things playing out, they've been playing out a long time. It's just coming to the surface. Unfortunately, people seem to be more focused on that than all of the light coming in. So my massive advice for this would be to meditate more, to tap in with your guides more, tap in with the earth more. And you can even ask your spirit guides and your higher self to show you the higher timelines, to show you the golden future that everyone is currently anchoring in on Earth. The more that you can focus on that, the more that you can experience it as a full body experience. So experience it and embody that frequency, you will literally be changing the narrative of this Earth. And a lot of things that are apparently said to be playing out or are supposed to be playing out in the future, dark agendas, all that bullshit, we're going to bypass a lot of those because of this new timeline we're anchoring in, but we pretty much need all hands on deck. The other way that this vibrational war and this huge duality between dark and light is playing out, especially at the moment, is on a personal level as well. So we have a lot going on at the moment where people are having constant struggles, and it's like that feeling of, fuck me, can I just get a break? Because there is constant things going on. I mean, I'm filming this in Spain right now, and the first 4 days of me being in Spain, the first 3 days of me being in Spain, I changed apartments 4 times in 3 days. I got no sleep. There was bugs in one of them coming out of the shower drain. The shower didn't work. Then it was stinking. There was insane noises. I moved from one place because of the noise, and I'd had no sleep. I put my head on a pillow and someone started hammering the wall next to me. It's like that level of just constant things in the 3D going wrong to get you to breaking point. Some people are having it a lot deeper, where they are losing friends and family. So a lot of people, again, choosing to leave Earth. Some people are having car crashes, washing machines breaking down, just loads of stuff in the 3D that is keeping us almost in a complete state of anxiety and making it so that we can only focus on what's in front of us, and we're finding it very hard to connect. But this seems to be mixed in simultaneously with a lot of us having the most amazing opportunities come through, experiencing the most intense magic, reaching levels of our business or our personal relationships or massive personal breakthroughs. So it's like on one side, we're experiencing the most light we ever have, but it can feel a bit overshadowed because we're all in a constant state of stress and annoyance and frustration because of all the bullshit 3D stuff going on. So again, that's just something that is playing out. And my advice would be to meditate more, tap in with Mother Earth. Some of it as well, because of the so-called dark, them lot out there, parasitical races, whatever, they don't want this new timeline. They don't want these higher timelines, this golden future being anchored in. And they know that we need all hands on deck. So a lot of the stuff that is coming through is psychic sabotage. I'm not even going to call it psychic sabotage because it's not happening to us. We are all fucking sovereign and divinely protected. It's coming through things like agent myth shit. They're coming through other people that are not yet psychically awake or spiritually in tune with the universe. So they're able to be worked through and sabotaged through. So you might be getting attacks from other people, or constant people making noise like I had, or appliances breaking, or walking into fucking tables, shit like that. My guide showed me a couple of years ago, when I was having a particularly tricky time with everything breaking in my house, that I'm completely protected. So the dark energy literally cannot fucking touch me because I'm sovereign as fuck. It can't get to me. So what it's doing is me literally moving through the shit that is solid, dense matter, right? Moving through the floors, moving through your furniture, all of that. And I'm not saying this to freak anyone out, by the way. It's just energy, like it is what it is. But start moving through things and breaking things, electrical systems breaking down, all of this, because it was the only way that it could get to me and put me in this like fear state and fuck with my vibration, basically. So a lot of it is being done to distract us. And it was working for me because I completely stopped working for a couple of weeks. I was like, fuck this, I can't sleep. Everything's breaking, going wrong. I need a holiday. I'm not fucking working, which is exactly kind of what they want. Which when I realized this on the full moon recently, I went the other way, and I've just doubled down on channeling and putting out information that's going to help you guys. So yeah, so that's one of the things that's playing out at the moment, and will probably continue to play out in varying degrees. So it goes up, it gets intense, we break through that layer of bullshit, and then it's calm for a bit, and then it builds up again. That's just the nature of ascension on our planet. Yeah, so dark versus light. Biggest thing I can tell you to do is meditate, connect with the earth, focus more on anchoring in this future vibration and just not consenting to any of the lower vibrational shit on your timeline, because you are the most powerful thing in this world. The other thing that's happening at the moment is the energies of masculine and feminine are trying to balance themselves out. So it's like, imagine that the earth is trying to come into divine union with itself. So this is, again, causing many different things. First of all, we have the earth as a whole trying to come into divine union, which means all of us are also trying to come into divine union within ourselves. So what this means is being able to have a balance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine within you so that you can come into wholeness. Now, pretty much all of us, unless you have ascended, will have imbalances in your masculine or feminine. And a lot of people right now are getting a lot of illnesses and injuries come up in their physical body down one side or the other. So what I've been noticing, and I put out a post on this and got it confirmed, a lot of people are experiencing injuries, illnesses, like one thing after another. I mean, again, this month I've had like a neck injury, a shoulder injury, kidney problems, adrenal problems. I had a virus. I keep waking up with like a sore throat. I've now got an ulcer on my tongue. It's like every day there is something else. And I've spoken to other psychics who are essentially in the same thing. But what we've noticed is it's all on one side of the body. So your right side is your masculine side. Your left side is your feminine side. If you are experiencing this at the moment, in whatever time space reality you watch this, just notice if there is illnesses or imbalances on your left side or right side. And a way to address this would be to look at the relationships you have with, if it's the masculine, your father, any father figures in your life, maybe any male figures in your life, so maybe ex-partners, maybe brothers, maybe sons. Also the relationship with the masculine within yourself. So are you in your divine masculine? Are you in your wounded masculine? Are you doing the toxic masculine shit? You can have a look at it that way. You can go into each illness or injury, meditate on it, and ask it where it's coming from, ask it what it needs from you as a way to heal it. And the same with the feminine side. Doing this is not only really powerful for you, but it's really powerful for the collective, because if everyone stepped the fuck up and did this work, it would shift the collective to come into divine union. So it would literally shift the balance, or help shift the balance of divine masculine and divine feminine on the earth. Which there is a lot of toxic masculine playing out at the moment. There's a lot of wounded masculine, as we see with the genocides, with the war games, all of that shit. So if we can change this shit vibrationally, it has a lot of a better chance to be over in the 3D reality and to stop playing out a bit sooner. Just some dogs barking in the background there. So yeah, so that's trying to balance itself. The other thing that is going on with this whole, like, everything's trying to come into divine union, another aspect of that is there are a lot of people on the planet that are trying to come into divine union with each other, and it's 11:11 on the clock as I'm saying this. There is a lot of pairings that have been sent. There's a lot of Lyran pairings, a lot of soul walk-ins that have been sent to come together within this life and reactivate codes and anchor in light and anchor in the frequency of divine union for others. Now, this happens just by coming together with another person in divine union. Now, I say just coming together in divine union like it's something that's fucking easy. Coming into divine union with another person, especially if it's something that you signed up to before this life and it's maybe a Lyran soul or a counterpart that's come in, you're going to go through a hell of a lot of shit, trunking through human baggage, having to rapidly heal yourself because of the power of the other person's mirror. So two massive soul lights come together. You just shine a light on all of each other's density, which can then rapidly come up to the surface so that it can be cleared. If you don't know what's going on, you can get terrified, have a mental breakdown, and run away from the union. This happens a lot. It needs two conscious people coming together, two people that are able to step up and constantly heal themselves to come into divine union. Now, something that's happening again at the moment and will continue to happen in regards of the entities and attachments that we have in our soul. Again, very briefly, please go back and watch my other podcast on this because I go into it a lot more in depth. Entities and attachments are nothing to be scared of. We're all fucking riddled in them. It's just what makes up the density in our soul. A lot of them are from past lives and other timelines. Now, this, as part of normal ascension, we have these things come up in our body and we clear them, right? We can clear them in many different ways. It's just clearing your energy. There are programs and there are triggers and things placed into your soul that are programmed to activate and come online when you reach certain levels of ascension. A lot of this tech comes from Atlantis and some of the negative timelines and the lower vibrational timelines that came after Atlantis, when all of the parasitical beings came in and seeded Earth and seeded our souls with negative shit. They knew that we would come through and we would keep clearing our energy. So what they did in their fucking shitty, sneaky way was implant stuff that wasn't meant to come online until you reached a certain vibration or a certain level of ascension. I've experienced this a lot with our clients. But what I've experienced more recently and had confirmation from spirit that is happening is there is also things implanted to prevent people from coming into divine union. So say you meet a counterpart and you're both ready to step up and do the work, just you guys connecting will trigger and activate all of these fucking entities, attachments, curses, spells, whatever, that were implanted to keep you apart. And again, if you're not aware of this, woo, it can get in there and cause absolute fucking havoc. There is many different ways this can play out, different curses to keep you anchored in scarcity, in fear, things that you're constantly triggering each other but unable to resolve things. And instead of trying to resolve them verbally, you just need to go in, see what is coming up, clear it in the astral fucking realms, collapse any old timelines where it's coming from, and then you come back together and it's literally like it never existed. My guides wanted me to bring this up just because it is happening and it's very common at the moment. Some of the disclaimers that I want to put in though, please don't mistake what I'm talking about now for someone just not being ready. So a lot of people are gonna meet, I hate the whole twin flame thing, because in my opinion, twin flame relationships are toxic as fuck. It's very rare to meet a twin flame that is at the same level of development that can come into union, but there's many different counterparts that we can meet. When I put this video out on social media talking about this, I had a lot of people commenting saying, oh, but what can I do? Like, my counterparts run away or my twin flames run away. Can I clear them or can I do this? No. If they've left, you can't do shit. They are a sovereign being. They have chosen to leave. That's up to them. If they've chosen to leave, it's because they are not ready to step up and do the work required to be part of the union. So thank you very much. Clear them from your fucking timeline and call in the next one. That's just a stepping stone soulmate. All of those people that run the fuck away from the work, they are just stepping stone soulmates. They came in so that you could experience something vibrationally, and now they're off. Totally going off on a tangent. That's for another podcast. But yeah, I just wanted to put a disclaimer on. I don't want people seeing this and being like, oh, that person left me just because of a curse or a spell, and if I clear it from them, maybe they'll come back. No. Don't go fucking around with that. This needs to be a consensual thing between two people. Okay, so that is divine unity blocks covered. The last thing that I want to touch on that is really important at the moment, and just in general, is information polarity. How important it is to know your truth, but how equally important it is to understand and accept that your truth is not everyone else's truth, and you don't need to go and fucking force it on them or persuade other people to your way of thinking, or believe that you need to save them in some way by pushing them into your truth. Again, this happens a lot in the spiritual community. People discover a modality or a way of being or some cosmic truth, and they think that everyone should subscribe to it and that they have the absolute fucking answer to everything. I'm sorry, but you are not God. I say to everyone with all of my stuff, this podcast included, take everything I say with a pinch of salt. Use your discernment and your integrity on what you choose to take in. And if anything that I say makes you feel uncomfortable, anxious, in a fear state, or in a state of urgency, do not take it on because it's not for you. If what I'm saying resonates with the core of your being, if it makes you feel excited or motivated or urgent in a good way, like, yeah, I want to get out and fucking do something about this, that's great. Especially if you get tingles in your hands or tingles in your chest, warm fuzzy feelings, then that means that what I'm saying is good for you and it's your truth. What is happening at the moment is there's so many people out there. I mean, there's so much information out there and there's so much misinformation, especially when it comes to, for example, spirituality. There's a lot of different like there's a lot of different agendas flying around. There's a lot of different truths flying around, and it can be really, really difficult to see through the bullshit and find your truth. So please use your body and your discernment before you take things in. I don't care how famous someone is or how much of a good healer or a good psychic they appear to be. If they are saying something that jars you or makes you feel uncomfortable or puts you in any sort of fear state, do not fucking listen to them. It's either not for you, or it could be coming from not a good place. There are a lot of psychics out there that are stuck in the false light matrix, and they only get half truth, or they're communicating with entities that are not entirely of the light, and they're doing so-called channeling, but it's actually bringing through shit that's just feeding more fear. Something else that's going on with the quote-unquote conspiracy theories, truth seekers, and planted information. There is a lot of, I hate calling them conspiracy theories because most of them are valid as fuck. But what you get with that whole kind of conspiracy theory, truth seeker, unveiling of disclosure and whatever, is a lot of the things out there, especially online, pretty much everything online has its own fucking agenda. And there is so much information out there that while there is some truth in it, it's still used to fucking keep your focus on it and keep you in fear. So they'll put things out there that's a bit of truth, shrouded in fear, to keep you locked into that, focusing on that. And then guess what? You create that fucking reality. So there's a lot of people out there that are truth seekers, that are trying to spread a lot of information about dark agendas, about certain things that are played out on Earth. But what they're doing is actually just keeping themselves anchored in and spreading this in other people's awareness, so that they're all anchoring in this lower timeline, which is exactly what we want. So while it is, yes, important for some people to understand some of the darker agendas that are going on Earth right now, so that they can do something about it, it's not something that we need to be focusing on. And there is a lot of things out there with a lot of half-truths in, that people who put this stuff out and entities who run through people that put this stuff out are very, very clever at putting out enough truth so that it resonates with the core of your being, and then shrouding it in absolute fucking bullshit to keep people lost, confused, and stuck. This further keeps us in separation, right? Because all it does is cause fucking infighting. Is the world round or is it flat? Is the government planning this, or are we going to be okay? Like, there's so many things. If you can manage to take in some of this information, if it's important to your path and you are doing something about it through meditation, psychic activism, singing, like anchoring in the new age by getting rid of the dark and bringing that through, great. If you see this stuff online, talking about dark agendas, whatever, ask yourself, first of all, ask if it feels true. Then ask, is this necessary for my path right now? And is there anything I can do about it? Or is the information just keeping my focus anchored into a lower vibrational reality and adding to the fucking problem? Okay, so I just want people to use more discernment when taking in information, because it is more important now than fucking ever. And anytime that you watch this, for powerful motherfuckers like you listening to this podcast, and if you're listening to this podcast, you are a powerful motherfucker, because you wouldn't be drawn to me if you weren't. You're all going to be psychics, healers, darties, light workers, way showers, right? Whether you're 100% aware of that or not. Please use your energy to anchor in the future that we want to experience. If you need to dip your toe into the dark to see what's going on, either through, I mean, I generally would prefer myself, I only want to take in information that comes from source or through meditation. If you want to have to dip your toe into the dark to understand a certain thing that's going on, so that you can use your psychic abilities, your astral programming to change that and bring it to the night, great. But make sure that you clear your fucking energy afterwards. Don't do research on it. Don't start Googling dark agendas or dark entities. You're just calling shit in, literally, leaving the door wide open for shit to get attached to you. From the outside, regardless of how sovereign you are, that is you giving permission, right? You're Googling this shit, you're trying to look into it, it's leaving the door open. Bring your focus to the opposite end of the coin. So if you think about what you're looking at, the dark thing that you're worried about, think about what would be the opposite of that. So if that didn't exist, or it was completely reversed, go to the opposite end of the coin and put all your fucking focus and love on focusing, bringing in and anchoring in that opposite end through visualization, through calling on your angels and guides to make it show, through prayer, through whatever. And every time the bad thing pops in your head, just close your eyes and anchor in the good thing. You will be doing so much more for the planet than just getting lost in the darkness, because of how powerful your energy is. So remember, wherever your focus goes, energy flows. And as long as we keep flowing it towards the light, still being aware of what things are going on. I'm not saying that anyone needs to be ignorant or bypass. We still need to know what's going on in the world so that we can fucking change it. But just please look within yourself and notice when you're being sucked into sensationalism, or when you're being sucked into that morbid curiosity, or getting trapped in the dark trying to figure things out. And when you need to tap the fuck out, do a meditation and anchor in the opposite side. Okay, that was quite ranty at the end there. Sorry about that. So I think I've covered all of my bullet points. I hope that you guys found this episode useful. If you want to help anchor in the new future, my Purple Realm Psychic Activist group has new channel sessions every single month. It's my community project. It's only $15 a month to join. You get access to thousands of pounds worth of powerful channel sessions that literally change the fabrics of reality by changing the energetics within you and within your soul and radiating that out. We cover many different subjects. There's a new one each month. You can go and check that out on my website if you want to get involved. Also check out my Upgrade from Within book on Amazon if you want to learn how to meditate, how to connect with your higher self, how to remove entities and attachments, all that jazz. Yeah, apart from that, sending you all a massive amount of love, whatever time, space, reality you're experiencing this transmission in, and I will see you again in a couple of weeks.